style for TSM, spread the map, using your TF, using your Aatrox, and have this kind of three-man squad that has a lot of strong wave clear in it, whereas 100 Thieves feel much more like this is a group 5, look to team fight, Bromsedge, Wani Renekton, really strong frontliners, and some good backline access from their two carries on the Corki and the Ezreal.
All right, going to be an exciting one there as the last swaps have gone back and forth. We've got a very volatile matchup at the top lane, Aatrox versus Renekton, with some aggressive junglers to boot alongside that one. Ryu and Bjergsen playing essentially marksman down here. AD Twisted Fate has been the most common build, and after Triforce, it's a bunch of crit chance. So gonna see high damage sources in the backlines here, plenty of frontline as well, plenty of engage, and we'll see if TSM can split up the map with Destiny and the rest of their map movements. 100 Thieves need to pick up some wins. They are on the outside of playoffs, a game and a half back. 2 wins to pick up with 3 to play, and TSM only 1 win behind a playoff bye. Hoping to get back to that level of excellence that their fans are used to. Back to the same starting lineup they got to the LCS finals with just a few months ago. Hoping this time around, it's a little bit of a cleaner run. As the fans are ready, we are as well. Let's get in the game. 100 Thieves versus TSM.
And funny enough, Acadian immediately as they load into Summoner's Rift, pinging Ocean Dragon spawns in 457. So certainly could be a big target there. Anytime it is a first dragon ocean, you often want to play around that bottom side. You want to be playing for that dragon, because if you can get, that 5-6 minute ocean, you're going to be in such an incredibly strong spot for the remainder of that laning phase. So, teams may have to kind of change up their plan and cater what they wanted to do to that.
And we'll see what happens in the early game. Amazing did start with a very quick sweeper instead of the standard warding totem that most other people's put down. So we'll see if that gets exciting.
Also worth noting that this is the same matchup that Bjergsen played yesterday. Smoothie in his interview afterwards had kind of said, hey, things went wrong around mid lane. That's why the game was so hard for us. And he was referencing the 2v2 that Acadian and Bjergsen did lose, where Mike Young came in with the Elise and they got a couple kills. But Bjergsen spent really the rest of that game sitting under turret, getting pushed in nonstop. And we'll see if Bjergsen can make the matchup look different today, because he certainly was on the receiving end, down heavily in farm, locked under his turret, and wasn't really able to make the roams.
We are into this one with no crazy shenanigans in the early game. Not even a ward swept out by Amazing Sweeper, so no extra gains here as Bjergsen gets poked. And everyone else going to feel pretty comfortable as we get to the lanes with no major issues. Looks like a leashless start for Acadian on the Raptors, but 100 Thieves actually going to help out Amazing over there on the red buff.
Yeah, and that'll be pretty nice for him, speeding things up a little bit. You can also note it is Klepto versus Klepto there in the mid lane. So Ryu and Bjergsen both going to be taking that rune and looking to try to trade autos back and forth. Stack up that additional gold. We'll see who's going to be able to kind of get the better of the two in that matchup.
Just last inning so far back and forth with no major issues. Level 2 first for Ryu. Well, except for Bjergsen can't knock him down just yet, as now the levels are equalized. It's been a pretty chill start right now, but the first push goes to TSM over the bot lane.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think when you see the Ocean Dragon spawning earlier and you have Sivir Nautilus going against the Ezreal Braum, you're expecting to have priority on that bot side. That certainly is a lane that should be able to push, that should be able to kind of secure an advantage down there. They are able to shove it all the way up to the turret, and Smoothie gets a ward on the Krug, so they know very likely Amazing is doing a full bot side clear. So that is quite a bit of information gleaned from the fact that they had that push and get that one ward down.
Means they can then kind of glean, okay, Amazing's going to be top side now for 3 minutes till, about 3:45 or so into the game. So now it's going to be Broken Blade has to be respectful of what Amazing might do. And it's not even information that 100 Thieves totally know that was gained. They can see the Nautilus leave lane, but they don't know for sure what's going on. But again, as the point was given, Broken Blade should know he could be attacked now. They should expect Sejuani topside, and he is under turret and should not play aggressively here.
Yeah, he's got to be fairly careful. There is no Krugs available for Amazing to actually counter jungle, but if Broken Blade checks this...
Oh, nice pull right there, just out of turret range. So Smoothie able to cleanly take that trade, get a bit of damage towards that from him.
They're looking for this potential dive. At the very least, they want to zone him off the wave. So denying a lot of the CS. It is a nice little move. I do think Amazing was hoping to be able to get Krugs, not going to be able to do so, as that had already been taken away, but you're going to miss the cannon. That was about 4 ranged and 1 melee. Yeah. So a nice little bit of gold. And also, you're not really sure, is this Sejuani still in that bush? This is scary to even walk back to if you're getting baited, but Broken Blade will make the move now, and luckily for him, Amazing has gone back to farm his jungle.
So he's going to get the rest of this wave, but yeah, that is a lot of punishment very early on. So 27 to 14 in CS, gold difference, 280 right now.
Yeah, and you also know that Amazing, because we saw Krugs were down, is going to be still farming top side of the map. So you know that he could still be hanging around, that he could be in the river if the wave pushes out too far. So this is certainly a tough position to be in as a top laner with Gragas down on the bottom side. You don't have that backup, and Broken Blade likely will have to give up a lot of CS as a result.
Amazing, make your choice. What's going on here is it's going to be looking at the mid lane right now, it looks like, as top scuttle was already taken, but he's going to wait around, and in case there's some kind of mid lane pressure, he's going to be around, takes the recall, has about 900 gold to buy pieces of stuff, as Broken Blade now feels more comfortable and gets some really good trading off on Fake God.
Yeah, that was really nice, hitting 2 sweet spots as well as that Deathbringer stance auto, both healing and dealing the additional damage. Now they're looking for Sven. Great spell shield, though.
Gets away from the slow, so he's not going to be in danger really at all right now as Smoothie comes back down to the lane and can also feel comfortable. But the first TP came through. Bang does have his Sheen, has some lane pressure as a result, and is going to try to make Sven's life miserable, but shouldn't be too hard. Sivir basically already has Warhammer gold, and with the next wave has BF Sword gold. Yep.
Yeah, and Sven kind of played out that mind game very well. Afram was jumping to the minion and hoping that on the auto animation he will spell shield, and then you can Q afterwards, but Sven just held it until he actually saw the Q animation. He actively spell shielded, so certainly proper play there from him, but now they're going pretty aggressive, and
One hit. There's the stun, and takes a lot of damage there. No follow-up to be had anymore, and finally anchors back to the wall to get away, but good punishment. Bang just outside of turret range there as well.
Yeah. And now, Sven, sure, he has TP, he can come right back to lane. Smoothie cannot, so it is a little bit more dangerous if you want to teleport straight back in. Your dual lane will not be there with you. But 100 Thieves going to be receiving that teleport and just pushing in to Sven, where hopefully for him, he can pick up most of the CS.
And these lanes had a license to play aggressively. Both junglers actually were spotted on their Krugs by wards respectively, so it definitely gave them the chance to do that. Sven at half HP already.
Yeah, and this poke that they got means they're going to start dragon. They know they pushed Smoothie back to base. They're actually teleporting Braum back to the dragon. They see Acadian now, though, and Amazing is getting a little bit low, so mid laners will be called over here.
They're going to play around this Drake a little bit, as of course it's very low HP, and Smoothie wants to pull it onto Amazing, goes over the wall. There's a nice pickup there for the Gragas. Nicely done as TSM shows up, and just no health bars big enough for Amazing there.
Yeah, someone needed to help tank there, but they're going to continue the chase, see if they can get something more.
Body Slam's back up already, so that's just TSM collapsing in time. Well played, good smite.
Yeah.
100 Thieves don't get rewarded at all.
I mean, that was a great job there by TSM on that collapse, but I have to say, I feel like a little bit of mismanagement on the aggro of the dragon. Someone should have helped Amazing to tank up that dragon a little bit more so he could have stayed healthier, because he didn't actually get to stay around. And great job there by Broken Blade, taunting him as he forces out the ultimate.
And Broken Blade, I mean, he mind gamed the juke correctly. He went backwards to the Q because he expected Fake God to run forward. That was what happened right there, as again, the ult is burned and Fake God doesn't really have the sustain, is now pushed a little bit out of this lane. Has the farm lead, and you can see he's got the BF, so he's going for the Shojin rush.
Yeah. I mean, he's still in a pretty good spot, but has to be careful with the fact that Broken Blade has the ultimate advantage now and would have all that additional healing, but likewise, Broken Blade with Ryu on this roam, there is potential for the dive here, ultimate or not.
He's going to go for the play right here, finds the stun, good damage, gets knocked up though. A lot of health comes back in. Broken Blade played it right, commits the flash, gets the healing.
He got both their flashes there. Smoothie is going to get the hook. I'm not sure how that went through Aphromoo. That looked pretty strange. Aphromoo tried to flash in front of the Nautilus hook, but it connected to the wall beside him there. So things going very well here for TSM on both sides of the map. They escape on the bottom side, getting Aphramoo's flash. They get both of the solo lane flashes in a failed dive on Broken Blade as well. So TSM could be really happy about those last 2 exchanges.
Oh, imagine winning lane, splitting top side when your bot lane's doing better. This is the matchup that spawned the meme. So this is exciting.
I forgot about that. So here's this one more time. Let's see. So he tries to...
It was late.
Oh, yeah.
The flash is late.
The hook was actually already past where Aphromoo flashed to, so he would have had to flash a little bit earlier there to be able to make that connect with him, and then maybe they could have, gotten a flash at least. I'm not sure if they would have killed him or not, but should have at least been a trade of summoners. 100 Thieves, though, down 3 flashes, and we'll see if Acadian wants to make a move to try to punish any of that.
Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's 3 flashes down for 1 off that play. Like that is absolutely huge. It's a lot of map pressure that TSM can cash in on. So eyes on Acadian for sure.
I mean, he has flash. His Predator will be back up pretty shortly. He has ultimate. So quite early game here for Acadian, but he is now set up well. to try to look for a play that certainly could result in a kill. And TSM sitting on this Ocean Dragon is going to be feeling so good about their chances going forward in the laning phase, because Sven doesn't have to wait for the Essence Reaver to really have that additional regen to spam out the spells. That can be pretty helpful, but it is amazing. Making another move up to this top side. We'll see.
Right here, double E into stun, and just Sejuani follows through. You just always kill him with the stun right there into the ult. He's going to flash to make sure he lands it. Good damage coming across. Now Brugglade trying to run away. Finds a bit of CC. Yeah, the healing was enough, actually. I'm not sure Amazing had to burn the flash. The ult would have already landed. And they don't have the chase down. Brugglade walks away.
Yeah, they did not have the damage to actually burst him down there. Broken Blade, that Deathbringer stance auto heals you quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then with the ultimate active, any Q, any sort of damage you get out heals you for a lot there. This is, not a solo Q, Ignite, Renekton, or anything. They don't have a healing debuff at this point in the game, but still, at the very least, they push him back, and you always are a little bit nervous to TP back to lane, knowing that they could still be waiting there.
Yep.
So it will be a turret plate for Fake God, and it will be Broken Blade push back to base, but Broken Blade, credit to him, he is withstanding this pressure very, very well.
Yeah, really good stuff. He's only down 13 CS and has to sacrifice so many waves so far this game. One plate taken, you can see still a 600 gold lead because of the turret damage. That is still paying some dividends up there, but it is TSM overall. Look at the game state. TSM up 600 gold. You can see a 3-camp lead for Acadian, 10 CS lead for Bjergsen, 10 CS lead for Sven. Top's winning, but the rest of the map's going to TSM.
Yeah, and you're not even winning by much, right? And he's actually going to hold on to his TP to play for the rest of the map, so he is going to miss most of that wave that just crashed. As he walks back to lane. So they will have TP advantage. So now TSM is going to have to play with respect to the fact that Renekton could join into any bot side plays. This should give them priority on the next dragon as well, but that Wind Dragon isn't the highest priority, so I don't think TSM is really going to be too concerned about it.
Okay. 500 gold difference. Drake spawning in 20 seconds. TSM has been the one that's ended up the better side of the bot lane. They got the sort of steal on the Drake the first time around, and this time around they're just pushing the lane better, so that just is going to feel comfortable. Acadian, not in vision of that ward. Waiting for the next gank, but of course now he's on what you could argue is the wrong side of the map with his Drake coming up. Herald, of course, also an option.
Yeah, they also may have just made the call, hey, we're not actually going to play for Dragon because we have TP disadvantage. So,
sure.
If you go to top side and you get a kill or a force, on Fake God, then maybe you can look for something. But otherwise, it would be very brave to try to go for that sort of play, knowing Renekton can join and Aatrox cannot. So I think that Acadian is making the call, hey, if they go for Dragon, we lose it, but maybe we get a kill or maybe we get Rift Herald to trade on the top side.
Acadian reveals himself going through some wards. He's now going to start that Herald himself. But keep in mind, though, right now, Ryu has lane pressure, and Acadian's still on a ward. He can easily be stopped here.
Yeah, and it is 100 Thieves actually pulling off. So, but even with that startup, he made them stop doing Dragon, right? There was actually, Sejuani as well as the Braum over by that Dragon Pit. So now they're going to make the call to kind of move up towards this top side and look towards that neutral objective. But that means their top laner could join a potential fight.
Thieves going to cash back into this game by knocking down a couple more plates. You can see one just fell in the mid lane. As Bjergsen's going to get his recall stop, but TSM very close to getting those down to the bottom side as well. Sven might have missed local gold on that second plate dropping. It was at 5 HP when he last hit it, and then I might not have stayed for the next wave. But regardless, you're still seeing a 400 gold lead to TSM. Overall, their lanes are going well. Broken Blade actually shrinking the lead in topside. Only 4 CS down now against Fake God. As Drake has started once again, 100 Thieves hoping this time it actually works out for him.
Yeah, and without the mid-jungle shenanigans going bad for Bjergsen, he's actually winning in farm in this matchup. Still being pushed in as expected by the Corki, so hasn't really been able to get out to a side lane and make anything happen there. But at the very least, holding even in farm, and we'll see if they can kind of activate him later on and start to move Bjergsen around with this TF ultimate.
The gold lead right now is basically the math of TF passive. 485 gold swindled is basically the gold lead there for TSM, so that is kind of that at work. Overall actual earned gold would be basically identical as a result. And you can see now the next attempted play is Sven and Smoothie could look aggressive, and now it's towards the top side. Now it's Fake God's turn to be ganked, and can he outplay this one? Has the ult on, taking a lot of damage, but he's going to have the regen. He's going to burn 1 TP from a teammate as Ryu shows up, and that dive will be stopped. True shot barrage even there to make sure it's even nicer is amazing. Gonna get himself a stun. That's damage towards Acadian. 300 HP on this guy. And oh, Fake God, you gotta be careful. Flashes in, finds the play, but not yet the kill. Ryu finally answers, and it's Broken Blade, a double kill for Corki. Big play out of Fake God, and it converts.
Yeah, really nicely done there. Flashing in, landing the Q on 3, gets a lot of healing back there. And 100 Thieves respond to the TSM play. The members making the proactive plays, it hasn't been working out. It's been the counterpunch more effective so far this game, and now 100 Thieves, 2 kills to 0. They're going to be pushing up in this top lane as well. And theoretically, they actually could kill this. There's no teleport to answer. We'll see how much damage Ryu can get down. But without turret plates that kind of help the defense there, he's going to at the very least get it quite low and could actually just get it if he commits.
He's that feeling for Corki. You're out of rockets. You can't just keep turning on Trinity Force over and over again. Costs like no mana, but they weren't stacked up.
So here this is one more time. Fake God creating a lot of space for himself with the slice and dice, buying the time. You know, they went in a little bit disjointed. Acadian was not there right as the TF ultimate comes in, which is what you would have wanted. But then amazing. Remember, this is a full AP Gragas. He's very squishy. Look at him just getting shredded by a couple hits there from Ryu. Then Fake God kiting back, flashes in, Q on 3, and the healing just barely enough with the Triumph Heals coming through as well to skirt out of there and keep himself alive.
Thank you, Triumph, for the survival right there, and it means 600 gold now puts 100 Thieves in the driver's seat here.
And it also means Shojin complete.
Yep.
That is a big power spike there for the Renekton. You can now start, you know, with the proper weaving of your autos during your ultimate to get multiple rotations of your stun out. And it gets so hard to actually 1v1 at that point in the game. So I would say this is one of the most important item completions as far as additional power, you know, from components to the actual finished item.
96 versus 108, the respective cooldowns of the top laners right now. So it's a trade of ult. That's pretty good for Fake. God gets some decent damage across. Kind of another stun pretty soon right here. Broken Blade gets the heal. Does not find the knockup though. They find all the stuns, and it's just so easy to chase him down. The matchup finally paying off, and top lane turret will be first of the game here for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and that is huge. That's the power of the Shojin right there. 2 stun rotations, the constant chase down from the slice and dice, as well as you're resetting. Your W counts as multiple autos, which is resetting the cooldowns in and of itself. So that is so strong. Cashing in on that kill, cashing in on first turret. This could be the kind of lead that Fake God needs to now start really making a bigger difference in this game.
A nice true shot barrage will give Sven 75 mana, but make him stop the recall. A little bit of time lost right there as clears the rest of the wave out and keeps stacking on up. An exciting game in front of us here as Gage just takes his jungle. Yeah,
now Executioner's grabbed up here for Fake God as well. He is playing for the 1v1. This is, you know, the kind of build you're going for to dominate. You know, cutting down on all that Aatrox healing. Very likely will build into a Black Cleaver second after this. And then you're on 40% CDR with the cooldowns being reset from Shojin. And it really does get very difficult to actually deal with this. So you can see TSM, you know, rotating multiple members here on the map up towards the top side. You know, multiple people are here to support Broken Blade in the case of any potential gank and maybe even threaten for the Rift.
Well, 3 up here. Fake God does have the ulti. Broken Blade not just yet. Here comes the first attempted plays. Puts the skills down. Fake God getting ult now as well. TF now here. 4 versus 1. This is going to be dangerous. Goodbye. The entirety of TSM shows up at top lane. And Fake God this time will indeed die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if 2's not enough, try 3. If 3's not enough, try 5, I guess.
Yeah.
That one worked out well for TSM. Able to bait him in and knock him down as the TP comes in from Sven. The TF ultimate comes out, and that kill can lead to this potential, you know, Rift Herald, which would be really nice for them. But it looks like Afromoon, amazing in the area, is enough to dissuade them.
Yeah. Well, in the immortal words of Reginald, gods can bleed, yo, and finally TSM able to kill him and get a turret after it as well. So this is TSM finally on the board with a little bit of something. Only 500 gold down, but with all that effort, Bang was alone in the bottom lane. This is several waves Sven has lost. This is a turret that goes down in answer as well. And even mid lane had pressure first by 100 Thieves. They put this turret down about 40%.
Yeah, Ryu was staying in mid lane, so going to get a little bit of CS there for himself. Looking like Bjergsen is going towards Wit's End as the second item here. going to be pretty strong both against the Corki as well as the Sejuani. You know, Ezreal has a fair bit of mixed damage also, so you know, it seems like a pretty reasonable item, but you are losing out on the rapid fire, which one of the really strong things there is just the additional range for your gold card. And that is one of the kind of key components about finding picks, finding additional little bits of engage from that TF.
And again, they're scouting now towards the top side. Rift Herald not going to be claimed here by TSM's side. It's Kaden having a hard enough time soloing it and doesn't have the damage nor the map pressure to sit around long enough. That'll reset once more and despawns in just about a minute. So maybe no one gets the Herald this time around.
Yeah, looking like with the reset from 100 Thieves as well, likely no one will be grabbing that. Someone's got to get down to this bottom side, though, and answer the Aatrox. Pretty slow on the lane assignments, honestly, from 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
You know, they could have actually sent Bang down to clear this out. You know, they could have had Fake God make the rotation earlier. As a result, could just lose this turret. At the very least, it's going to get really low here, so a bit of a costly, slow rotation.
Oh, they're going to try right now. Here's the stun. Here's the TP. There's the ult burn now as well. Here comes the rest of the squad, though, as TP's going to be under the turret. Look at the timing. Bjergsen's on TF under the turret, and he will die. Look out for the next stun as Broken Blade's running. He might get stunned, but he's out of Sejuani's range. The Q not putting him into there in time, and just barely gets over the wall. But how about the second round? No jump to be had, and just barely walks away.
Yeah, great timing on that Sejuani ultimate to knock down Bjergsen, but 100 Thieves, you know, do come out on top on that fight. They can't kill Broken Blade. They will get the dragon and potentially even this mid lane turret.
Ryu is safe. He's impervious to CC. The package always makes him safe, so knocks that one down. And it's 3-2 in turrets with the Ocean Drake this time actually going their way. And I'd take 100 Thieves in this trade right now. You can see 2,000 gold puts them ahead.
Yeah, that is going to be feeling really, really good for them. Bang now pushing up mid lane. And you know, small little misplay, though, you have to say, from Fake God that actually could have resulted in an additional kill. We'll talk about that after.
Ryu takes some damage, but his team is around, and Acadian might have been up more than Kishu has to burn the flash. Stop watches the knockup, and ult to get the team out, so will stay alive, but that is resources down.
But in that bottom lane play, you know, we did see Fake God actually utilize his stun before he used the ultimate, so you're not getting those additional autos for the cooldown resets. So you'll see he actually uses his combo, then ults. So he could have actually had his stun and abilities up a little bit faster, which may have allowed them to get the additional damage for an extra kill. Either way, great play from Amazing there, timing out the ultimate perfectly on Bjergsen, who was TPing in, and I don't think he was expecting Amazing to show up. Yeah, Broken Blade is able to slink out, but it does cost the mid lane turret. It's a kill as well as the dragon.
And Amazing was so close on the E reactivation range. He's actually pretty short. He burned the Q, said, okay, I have to flash, but he flashed once he was already in range of the wall, and if he had burned it sooner, they probably killed Broken Blade and get a second kill. So wanted to see the cooldown. End of the day, got the worst of both worlds. Sometimes it breaks that way.
Yeah, it's hard to know if he had the E cooldown up. He may have been waiting for that to flash because he could have used
well,
it.
Well, it has no cooldown. It just snapped, right?
My mistake, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well, burns the flash late. That's what it is. And regardless, you've now got Amazing back on the map playing for the top side. 004. Precursor to James Bond.
Yeah, starting out very well. And we seem to see a lot of Corkis doing well these days, it feels like. Another strong performance here on the Corki from Ryu. He has this Essence Ray for completion, your kind of preferred build.
Yeah,
here,
I love that build.
For the additional AD, you know, that you're going to get when you additionally build up that IE. Your Rocket Poke is going to do a lot more. You have 40% CDR for the additional, you know, cooldown on a lot of your abilities. And also, never running out of mana, pretty good.
Pretty good. Trust me, it's important. As now the bot lane is being attacked. 2v1. He's going to find a lot of crowd control here, and now it's time for Fake God to find the target. Find some CC, but he's getting his healing cut, so he doesn't do very much right here. Looks for the second one. Does get another stun. Tries to get the big kill, and finally, Broken Blade gets the slam, and they get the 2v1 kill.
Yeah, that would have been a massive turn if Fake God could have got that. Oh!
I think he lives through that, but...
I think he lives through that too, but better safe than sorry here for Smoothie. TSM, they do get the 2v1 kill, but you're seeing the power of Fake God. With this Shojin, you know, draws two members down, almost able to actually take that fight. Was pretty close. Now, I wonder, could Ryu have actually TP'd in? You know, would he been able to respond to that immediately? Because if he arrives, it feels like it's probably 2 free kills.
Yeah, I think he wins that one. They're both at 25% right there. But as it is, it's TSM inching their way back into this game. The lead's still 2K, but you can see they've still got the moves to be made. Wit's End done for the Twisted Fate of Bjergsen, and the power spikes continue as Ven's on 2.5 items. That's a pretty comfortable spot for the Sivir. IE will be especially big for the next piece, but even now is going to feel all right.
Yeah, so here this is one more time. So he was actually pretty close to the TF as well as the Gragas, so maybe couldn't have come in. And perhaps they didn't actually realize how close Fake God would get in this fight. When his second round of cooldowns does come up, the second stun makes you think for a second, hey, maybe he could do it, but yeah. A good E backwards with the Q. Broken Blade does clean it up, and then Ezreal ult, forcing that flash out from Smoothie, probably would have lived, but definitely didn't want to risk going down there.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage, at least in current era, is 620 damage for Bang. After MR, it probably survives with the 500 something he had.
Close though.
Yeah,
and I think it's worth blowing the Summoner, right? It's you definitely want to be sure about that. Ryu though, looking to knock down this turret. One more auto remaining on it, so split push Corki definitely being very effective. Bjergsen has not really been able to get much done on the map. It feels like 2 times in 2 days, kind of locked under his turret against this Corki matchup.
And now Sven just walks backwards after doesn't bother to throw the Q out. Okay, he does it later, but still means nothing.
Yeah, but you get the ult out. It's going to be pretty nice, forcing that off of Sivir, just with the kind of implied threat of them being there. Third Ocean of the game will be coming up shortly, as 100 Thieves could look to play towards that, but I don't think it's going to be the most impactful this game unless there is kind of one of those long extended plays. There's not a ton of poke, on the side of TSM, for example, if 100 Thieves were able to grab it. Would feel pretty nice for TSM, though, to be able to take that extra regen when you are up against an Ezreal as well as this kind of poke build Corki, who are going to be harassing you quite a bit.
Yeah, truly does matter a whole lot. Bjergsen, of course, doesn't even have reliable access to blue buff, so that split push on the TF, you can sometimes run out there as well. If you can't lock enough blue cards to refund all of his mana pool, and you can see Bjergsen at about 20% mana pool, but he's recalling. He's fine for the next fight. Drake is spawning now. It's 100 Thieves who are first to push in the mid lane, and they'll be first to walk down to the river as well. They actually already are the ones with the vision control. Ryu now in a battle. This could be dangerous. Yeah, has to burn the package. Times that wrong. He just dies with explosive cast, so yeah. TSM now back in control of the North River as Amazing takes down this Drake with no problems. Fake God shoves in the bot lane. But the North River is the part that matters. The Ocean Drake seems to be a formality. Looks like no steal's going to happen, but Baron going to be important. Second Ocean not terribly crucial, so it's a minor power up.
But with no one actually responding to Fake God, TSM are going to have to either send someone down there immediately or start the Baron. They have to do some sort of kind of threat. Perhaps their answer is just going to be pushing hard on top lane. It seems like that is going to be the choice for now. 5 members from TSM converging in that area. Fake God will continue to push, and 100 Thieves don't have any vision around here right now, but if they can actually keep track of if TSM have started this up or not, Fake God can just keep going.
Yep, he's got demolished. That's the first turret down right there. So you can see it's now 5-2 in turrets, and Fake God not being answered. Has max CDR already. Shojin plus Black Cleaver. He's very powerful right here. Still has the healing reduction when needed. Knocks it down, walks back over, has the full level lead over Broken Blade. That is not a 1v1 that TSM easily win.
Yeah, definitely not. And with Broken Blade actually showing in that lane, it's 100 Thieves' turn to move in and try to clear out this vision around the Baron area. So they are now taking control of this top river quadrant. You can see all of these wards being spread out in this area. Kind of 3 pink wards in that area. They're looking to engage.
CC, a lot of damage. Braum chains through. They knock down Acadian. Had the flash, couldn't burn it in time. What a great kill. Now mid's under fire. With them also knock that one down as well. 6-2 in turrets. And 100 Thieves firing on all cylinders. 4,000 gold up.
And they didn't even expend that much for that kill. So they can still actually threaten this Baron. Acadian is down. At the very least, you could try to get some of the TSM members to face check or come over to you.
Find a slow. They're going to
coming in. They're looking to flank.
5v4. Looking for the flash for the slow. Looking for the kill. Big damage out of Ryu. Now into the back. That is Broken Blade. Wants to knock that out. Can't do it just yet. But now Smoothie is surrounded. He is certain to die. That's a kill picked up. Now 4 on the board for Ryu. And back to the North River they go.
Yeah, and in these extended plays, Double Ocean is actually really starting to matter. You can see that kicking in, healing them back up. And they are going to be looking to bait once more. They know Acadian is up, so I'm not sure they want the 50-50, but if you could get another kill.
No, they find Sven, they find the slow, and Sven goes down in the same spot as last time. 100 Thieves pick up yet another kill.
Yeah, TSM was slow to pull the trigger there on the Destiny. They wanted to hold on to it. Bjergsen popped it a split second too late, it looked like. Now they're just making the call. Baron is 100 Thieves because TSM is running straight down to that bottom side, so it feels like they're now going to be kind of stuck in one of these split push crazy games that we did see from them yesterday. The question is, will 100 Thieves make the same mistakes that Echobox did to give them a chance to get back in? Because 100 Thieves thus far are looking really good. Now have 6K with a Baron and a very powerful Siege here, it feels like, with all the poke they have. TSM is going to be in a tough spot.
Yes, they are. 100 Thieves looking sharp now here, as you can see once again, these picks.
Yeah, this is just great play. You know, they know that TSM didn't have anything in the area to actually spot this out. Look at that Destiny. It happened as they were jumping onto Sven. So, you know, Bjergsen, I'm not sure if the cooldown wasn't up or if he just wasn't sure they wanted to expend it. It's a hard choice because if you waste it and then they go to Baron, you have nothing, right? So, you know, great timing there from 100 Thieves. They are now pushing up mid lane with 4 members. They do need to be a little bit careful until Fake God has pressure because this is a potential 5v4 for TSM. So this could be a window of opportunity.
And they might try to go for it right now. The Renekton is not nearby, but TSM do not pull the trigger. They let this wave be cleared, and they're not going to go for this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Sven got poked out pretty heavily, which does make it tough to then look for that fight. And now with this Siege Cannon working on the turret, and with Fake God almost at the turret himself, the Jaws are kind of closing in here on TSM. We'll see if they want to make a call to go for a fight or if they're going to be willing to let this chip continue on the turrets.
Well, 2 of TSM's ults are down. Bjergsen and Sven both are missing those, so it's not an easy way in as the siege continues. The push keeps happening. That turret is a couple of good cannon shots away from dropping down. If they want to tank it and do the backdoor auto attack, they can as well. Not willing to pull the trigger just yet, but it certainly is possible. That turret will regen.
Yeah. Don't think they need to rush it just yet. They could try to get some more poke. And I think now they will step forward and knock this down.
Amazing finds the stun to start it out. Acadian almost dead right there, but Smoothie, his days are numbered, and it's down to 0. He's gone already, 1 for 0, 5v4 in the map. Inhibitor's gonna be gone already, and a new wave is coming down to the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, the wave is timed out actually very well here. 400 Thieves, they have that building. This is gonna be very likely 2 inhibitors for 100 Thieves. I don't think TSM can really contest here whatsoever. They're down a member, and they're just so much weaker right now. Double Ocean actually coming in pretty huge for 100 Thieves as they're just constantly regenning back up from these skirmishes. They're really playing to the strengths of that dragon.
Really, really nice. Next Drake spawns in 20 seconds. Still almost 2 minutes of the Baron buff left on top as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of map to claim here. They're going to reset first, get the money, and then go for that Drake.
It's actually crazy how fast they were able to pull that off. You know, TSM really had no ability to actually mount a defense. You know, generally you see if the inhibitors get cracked, it's towards the end of the Baron buff. They could still potentially triple inhib TSM before the Baron buff actually ends. They have a minute and a half remaining. Are going to be able to take the dragon at the same time. 100 Thieves looking very, very good and in full control.
A lot of great items coming through. A Knight's Vow even over the top for Amazing. Does have the War Mogs, but adding even more CDR and really making sure his backline stays safe.
Yeah, and I think when you're this far ahead, just go for a cheap item completion like the Knight's Vow, some additional power for your Corki, who's monstrously strong. 4 items now on this Corki, and you know, Amazing scouting out the sides, making sure they can't get flanked.
Ooh, bang! Arcade shifted forward. That could have been dangerous. They're going to go for the play right now. Explosive cast only separates the team. Thank God. Gets pulled in, pops a stopwatch, but it's Bjergsen just dropping. Immediately dead. 5v4. The chase down continues. Amazing wants to find a slow. They're going to get the kill onto Smoothie, and now knocks up Sven. Flashing forward is the Braum. They're going to find a bit more knockup, and now Acadian is running for dear life, but 2 more autos will kill him, and Ryu is unstoppable. 11-2. TSM never stood a chance. Win lane, win game for Fake God. 100 Thieves will knock them down. They'll claim the turrets. They'll claim the Nexus, and they are close to playoff position.
A critical win here for 100 Thieves, and they are clean in closing it out. Just past 31 minutes, gonna grab the victory here over TSM. Now just 1 game back of Golden Guardians and Optic. That was a huge win for this team that so desperately wants that final playoff spot.
It started a run that 100 Thieves absolutely needed. 0-1 against every other team remaining in their schedule. They got the first upset here, knocking down TSM. Those are then 2 games of them. And hoping that in week 9, they can get the rest of the space they need to get into top 6.
And we've got to remember, thanks to the weekly wager, we're going to have some clowns on the desk.
Yep.
Who did not predict for the 100 Thieves win. Mark looking pretty smart now.
Yeah. Mark's the smart one. Well done to 100 Thieves. They have turned their season around. They made the choice. We've got a bench someday. We've got to put Ryu in. Fake God's going to fill in. And he was good today. And he's been slowly but surely improving on the LCS stage. and it's the 100 Thieves who are poised to make the playoff run.
Yeah, and I mean, Broken Blade, I think, withstood so much of that pressure in the top lane very well early on, but, you know, it's impressive to see the 100 Thieves have the confidence in Broken Blade to try to play, or rather in Fake God, to try to play through him against Broken Blade.
Yeah.
You know, certainly one of the better top